Hello.
Hi, Sharon. We're going to wait a couple of minutes, please, till the rest of the group
Okay.
joins the call, and we'll begin. All right, welcome everybody. I guess the rest of the group is going to join us a bit later. So if you could please turn on your cameras so we can begin today's practice. Thank you, Rodrigo, Sharon. Sharon?
Yes, sorry. Hello.
Okay, can you turn on your camera, please? Sweet, thank you. All right, so yesterday we're just two. So I prepared some exercises and I'm going to turn on the timer as well. All right, yeah, so I have set here. So what we're going to do basically today is we're going to work on our speaking abilities. We're going to do a mock test of the speaking section. So yeah, I think the rest of the group is just going to join us gradually. So yeah, we're going to begin. Who wants to begin? I'm going to put on the example there. I'm going to give you 15 seconds to prepare your answer and 45 seconds to answer. So we're just going to be completely hands-on from the beginning. So what I need all of you to have next to you is a piece of paper and something to write, basically, to write with. So is everybody ready? Everybody has a notebook or a piece of paper with a pen? All right, cool. So who wants to begin? Do we have volunteers? No volunteers, no one wants to begin today's practice. Right, let's begin with Rodrigo. Right, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to start sharing my complete screen. And yeah. Rodrigo, okay, so what we're going to do is basically I'm going to put the question here as well with the timer. So we're going to do it just as how we would do it on the actual exam. So are you ready? Cool.
Yes.
So this is your question, and you have 15 seconds to start preparing for it, starting now. All right, time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to give me your answer.
I would like to say that workplace training is so much better than university education because people, when find a job, they need to start knowing the principal techniques and the advantage they can develop their skills and superior abilities. It's a difference because in university education, we learn just concepts and theories. We don't exercise as a practice in real work. So workplace training can teach you better techniques and tips to do during many years.
Okay, that was good, but there was one thing you forgot to mention, which were your examples. So it was good. Your first reason is that you can get more useful skills, and usually you finish that with saying, for example, there was this time where I needed to do something, and I learned much faster by doing than by reading it in a book, something like that. Okay.
Okay.
So don't forget your examples, because part of the answer are the examples. It's not only the reasons. But it was a good attempt. Your management of time was pretty good. You started a bit late, but you managed to catch up at first. So yeah. What did you think of the exercise, Rodrigo?
What do I think?
Yep.
Yes, it's faster. Yeah. Maybe we have to think quickly and get a better vocabulary to explain the things we want to say.
Yep. Yeah. So the 15 seconds you get to prepare your answer are actually really fast.
Yes.
So yeah, you have to practice that, because that's all the time you're going to get, and it's going to get more complicated with the next ones because you have more things to do. I only have an extra 5 seconds. Okay. But yeah, it was a great attempt. Just a bit more practice, and don't forget your examples. All right, who wants to go next? Come on, guys. This is supposed to be practice for your exam. The more practice you get done, the better your chances to get a good score. So you should be fighting to see who goes next. All right, no one? Okay, let's go with Sharon then. Sharon, can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Cool. Right, so I'm going to give you your question then, which is this one. So do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Listening to music while studying is a bad idea because it makes the time spent less effective. So you have to say whether you agree or disagree, and your 15 seconds start now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now you have 45 seconds to answer the question. Make sure to unmute your computer, and it begins now.
Okay. I disagree with this statement because for me it's more effective to study with music because helps you concentrate better. You can concentrate about only for the lecture and not for the sounds in your city. Also don't only concentrate for the read that you need.
Okay. Yep. So basically, same thing that as Rodrigo. You managed to get one reason in, and you persevered on that one. So try to be more concise when you're giving your reasons. For example, says what was your reason? Sorry.
You can concentrate better than.
Okay. So perfect. So just go straight. Your main idea was fine. So you started with I disagree with this with this statement because I think you can concentrate better. So that's your first reason. You can actually do that. And say, but just go straight for example. There was this one time. Don't forget, it's always reason, example. Second reason, example. Okay. So don't worry, we'll have enough time to do it again.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Who wants to go next? All right, I'm going to go with the order in my screen. So we're going to Jose now. And then it's Gloria, Camila, Karen, and Jasmine. Right, Jose, you ready? Okay, good. So your question is the following. Many people prefer watching music videos on television or the internet rather than listening to the songs on their own. Which way of experiencing music do you think it's preferable and why? So you have 15 seconds that begin now. Three, two, one. Okay, time's up. So unmute yourself and begin your answer in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I prefer watching music video on the television for two reasons. First, improve your visual skills. For example, my sister can watch a lot of series in just 2 hours. Second, because you can improve your search skills. For example, my classmate can book in a lot of class materials.
Okay. Time's up. Right. So, yeah, you were great. You have the structural nailed. You went straight for the main idea. Your first reason was great, but you started getting nervous from your example on. So I think you said something that so you confused. It's talking about music videos. So it's talking about either watching the music videos or just the songs, and you went for series. So you have to be careful with that. The example has to relate to the topic. You can skew a bit away from it, but yeah, no, I don't know. Just work on that example. And your second reason was, yeah, what was also started deviating a bit from the topic. So What did you think? Well, what did you find the most problematic thing about this?
The second reason I can remember,
Yep.
I was nervous.
It's hard. It's really hard the
Yeah.
first time because you just see the clock ticking, the 15 seconds go like this, and yeah, that's why working on your notes and just putting just one word of what you want to say, that should be more than enough. So yeah. So yeah, but basically what I do is, well, I showed you, I just put a letter, whether I agree or
I
disagree.
write like 3 lines.
Okay, so yeah, just what I do is, so you know you're going to need one main idea, one reason, one example to the second reason and second example, right? So you can have like a template like this. I don't know if you can see. Wait, oh, I can see myself. There we go. So a template like, no, you cannot see. Shit. So just go
Okay.
like that. So you have like your main idea at the top, your first reason, then your example. So you just put one word. That way it's easier for you to organize. That's an idea. If it works for you, well, and if it doesn't, just try to find something that works for you, basically.
Okay.
But the structure was perfect. Cool.
Okay. Thank you.
All good.
Teacher, I have a question, please.
Okay.
In the task, when we are in this part, it's like we press a button to start the 15 seconds, or is automatically? Because, for example, in this case, I couldn't understand the question before you start the 15 seconds. So for that, miss my question.
Okay. If I'm not wrong, usually the way this is, someone narrates what's written there, and then they tell you, now you have
It's a
15 seconds to prepare your answer, and then the clock starts going down. And then now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer, and then it just starts ticking down. So it's going to be quite similar. So what we're going to do, and what we've been doing from, except for Rodrigo, in which I forgot, so I apologize. We're going to just read these examples. So I'm going to do the narration as if I were the software, but yeah, basically you don't get extra time to read it. All right, so we're moving on to Gloria. Are you ready?
Okay, teacher.
Cool. So your question is the following. Some parents educate their own children at home. Others insist that their children should be sent to school. Which way of learning do you think is preferable and why? You have 15 seconds to prepare your answer, starting now. Cool. Time's up. And now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer, starting now.
Okay, I think that is the better education in the school, because for me, learning at the school is important for the personal development of the child. I think that if a child grow up alone at home, is in the future can have more problems in yourself. I think that.
So, yeah, it was a good answer. but you stopped halfway there. So basically, you gave your main idea. That was great. It was a great idea. You stood your ground. You know where you were standing. Your first reason was great, but you forgot the example. I think you got mixed up with the reasoning and the example. So you can just say, you said two sentences, because I think it's important. I think it's important for children's development, for the development of the child. So you said something like that, right? So you can just join both sentences into one. The main reason, I think it's because it's important for the development of the child. For example, I had a cousin that was homeschooled and he didn't know how to make friends, for example. And then you go to your second reason. So it was good. It was a great first try. But yeah, so Sharon says that it's very difficult to see the timer and speak at the same time. It is. That's why it's really important that you practice with a timer, because that's basically how the test is going to be. You're going to have your question on one side of your screen and your timer on the other one. So yeah, just you have to get used to it. It's one of the complications. But with practice, you get used to the rhythm. But yeah, it was better, Gloria. Well done.
Thank you.
Cool. Now let's move to Karen. Was it Karen or Camila? Hi, Karen or Camila, who wants to go first?
Me, teacher.
Okay, Camila, let's go.
Okay.
All right, so your question is the following. Some believe it is important to learn as many foreign languages as possible. Others believe that speaking one or two languages fluently is enough. Which do you think is preferable and why? You have 15 seconds to prepare your answer, starting now. Okay, time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to start your answer, starting now.
Okay, I think the second one is the best decision to speak one or two languages fluently, because I think when you are prepared for something that you really know enough, you can relate it better with other people. For example, when you go I don't know, to the United States, the idiom, the English is an international language that way you can communicate with many people. I don't.
Good. It
Yeah.
was a good first attempt. I don't remember if I told you the first time I did it, I had the exact same problem. I just saw the time and I was just didn't know how to
Yes,
cram enough things in it. But
I get nervous in the example because I didn't write up, and I was just thinking about it, but I didn't do my structure. Just I write words, keywords, but
yeah, no, it was good. Just a bit more practice. Your main reason, your main idea. So, for example, you started with, okay, I think I'm going to go for the second one, and then you started with your main idea. So you lost like 3 or 4 seconds there. So just go
yes.
straight for the. I think
Yes.
so that was
Okay.
going to save you like at least 3 seconds that you're going to have for your examples.
Yes.
So yeah, just that one thing. Then your first reason was really good, and you got nervous in your example. So
Yeah.
don't overcomplicate yourself. As I told you, it doesn't have to be true. You just have to, just has to make sense. Okay, so just make
Okay.
something up. Like for example, one time I went to the United States and it was really useful to be fluent in the language because it allowed me to meet other people and then move on. So just get it out of the way, and yeah, if you're struggling, just reroute, basically go on a different direction. But it was great. It was a great attempt.
Thank you, teacher.
Cool. Now we're going with Karen. You ready? Cool. And your question is the following. Some believe that a high salary is the most important factor when choosing a job. Others believe that loving what you do is a more significant factor. Which do you think is preferable and why? You have 15 seconds to prepare your answer. Okay, time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to answer the question. Starting now.
I think that the most important factor when I choosing a job, it doesn't have to be a high salary. The first reason is because when you don't like the job, it can be suffering every day. For example, last work that I had, I hate, so every day I want that finish that day. And the second reason is that it can, when you do something that you don't like, it can affect your your emotions, your psychological side. For example, some people have to go to the psychology to resolve this problem.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you run out of time for your second example, but it was a great answer. Even if you run out of time, that was a really good answer. Just some points. And I think that's a problem that most of us have when we're learning English, is that we translate what we think in Spanish into English. So yeah, so sometimes some of the words just sound a bit funky because of that. For example, you said because of the suffer, right? So it was
Yeah,
good.
I didn't sure. Okay.
Yeah, so that kind of things. And on your second reason, you said it can affect your emotions, and then you went to your psychological side. It was good with emotions. Just leave it there, and then go for example, and then you go for your example. You would have had that little bit of time that you needed. Other than that, it was a really good answer. You gave both of your reasoning really well. The first example was perfect, and yeah, just as I told you, practice. Just whenever you have free time, just, I don't know, if you have timer on your phone or you have timer on your watch, just do and time yourself for 45 seconds, give an answer, and then see how well you did. So yeah, it's just getting used to the time constraint, basically. But other than that, it's really good. Cool. Thank you, Karen. And now we move to Yasmin. Jasmine, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Cool. So your question is the following. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Why or why not? Use details and examples to support your answer. Experienced doctors are better than young ones. You have 15 seconds to prepare, starting now. Time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer, starting now.
Okay. I agree with this because
Jasmine, you're muted.
experiment.
Jasmine, can you hear me?
Teacher.
Yep, I couldn't hear your answer. I think it was a problem with my internet. Do you want to try again? Jasmine, can you hear me? Jasmine? I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Jasmine? Oop. Right, we're having some problems with the connection, I think. Can the rest of you hear me well?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, cool. So let's wait for Jasmine to go back. So, all right, so that was your first try. As you see, the main thing is the time you have allocated. So that one's quite tricky. So we have some other examples. We have an extra half an hour to work on this. So, okay, I think Jasmine is back. Jasmine, are you there? Okay, I think she's struggling a bit. But yeah. Okay, so let's go for round 2 then. Who wants to begin? Everyone looks so optimistic about this exercise. But all right. Or perhaps would you rather no, let's keep on practicing. Tomorrow we have enough time for me to just give you a bit more feedback on how we can do it. So let's make the best of our time. So okay. Let's give Jasmine one more try. Jasmine, are you there? Okay, so Jasmine, we're going to move you next. Okay, we're going to get someone else to do it. All right, so we'll begin with I don't know who wants to begin. I really don't like calling people to do it. So just I don't know. Don't be shy, and just someone that wants to go for another round.
I can, teacher.
All right, Karen, let's go. Do you want to do this one, or do you want to do a different one?
This one. It's okay.
Okay, cool. So you have 15 seconds to prepare your answer, starting now. Okay, time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer, starting now. Karen, can you hear me? Karen?
Teacher, no escuché cuando dijo perdón. Sorry.
Okay,
Could you?
so you have 40 seconds starting
Yeah.
now.
So okay. I agree with the following statement. Experienced doctors are better than young ones. The first reason is because they had more cases in the past. So, for example, they can know what the effective medicines that can they know faster than the other. And the second reason is because they know better how to respond to the familiars of the patients. For example, my grandmother, sorry, I get nervous.
Yeah, no, it was great. So you don't have enough time for your second example, but your first reason and your two reasons and your first example was great. So as I told you, you don't always have enough time for your second example. That's a problem we all face. So as long as you get at least two reasons and one example in, or your main idea in, you should be good to go. But yeah, just keep practicing more. Cool, Jasmine, let's try one more time. Can
Okay,
you hear me?
teacher. Yes.
Cool, so we're going to do the next one with you, okay?
Okay.
Sweet. So Jesus Christ, your question is, some students like to watch educational programs on TV and some prefer entertainment programs. Which one will you prefer and why? You have 15 seconds to prepare your answer. Okay, time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer starting now.
Okay. I prefer watching educational programs on TV because in my case, I understand better when I see some images and when there are someone who can explain me and it's more easy to understand, I think. And obviously when you are a child, it's more complicated to understand in the books or in some article in internet, and it's more easy with a video or a CD.
Good. So, okay, it was a good attempt. Your time management was, you finished right on time. Your main idea was flawless. It was perfect. Your first reason, you went a bit long, so you could cut it down a bit and just go for a personal example. Your first reason was good, but you used like 2 sentences, I think, to deepen on that idea. Just keep it simple. Just go for your reason and an example. And then your second reason was a bit harder to follow, but in the end it came through that it was harder for children, for example, to watch books. So that would be a better alternative. So yeah, it was good, but it was just a bit harder. Another thing you said, images, I think. So it's images. So yeah, just be careful with that. Other than that, it was a really good answer. Just try to work a bit more on your structure. Okay. Cool. All right. So I think Andres just joined us. Andres, are you there?
Yes, teacher. Sorry for joining late. I'm sorry.
All good. So we're doing speaking practices. Do you want to do the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to read the question for you, and then you have 15 seconds to prepare and 45 seconds to do it. Do you have somewhere to write on?
Right now, no. If you give me, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Okay. So you'll do the next to this one, okay?
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. So who wants to go before Andres? Perhaps Jose, you wanna give it a go? Jose? Okay, cool. So your question is the following. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Why or why not? Use details and examples to support your answer. The youth should learn more about domestic chores along with their studies. You have 15 seconds to prepare your answer, starting now. Okay, time's up. And now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer, starting now.
Okay, I agree with the statement that the young should learn more about domestic chores for two reasons. First, the young can improve his skills. For example, my brother can study a lot of time in the 9 in the afternoon. Second reason, the young can be multitasking abilities. For example, my sister can listen music and study at the same time.
Great. Great, that was so much better. So you managed to get both reasons out with both examples. I think your second example was stronger than your first example because I think you had a bit more of time to prepare for your second one. But yeah, no, it was awesome. So yeah, just some minor pronunciation things, like you said, improve, I think. So it's improve. But yeah, no biggies basically. It was actually a really good answer. So what did you think?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Right, so Andres, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So give me one sec. Okay. Tell me.
Cool. So your question is the following. Some
Okay.
students prefer to switch off their phones while studying, and some use it for the same. Which one do you prefer choosing and why? You have 15 seconds for this question, starting now. Okay, time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer, starting now.
Okay. I will prefer to switch off my cell phone because for me, it's the easier way to learn and study about something because I don't get distracted about my
Andres?
notification. Yeah. Are you not listening? Excuse me. I'm sorry, teacher. Do you listen?
It cut out. Do you want to try again?
Oh, okay. I already did. Well, okay. I was telling you that I will prefer to switch off my phone because for me, I get distracted too much on my phone. So I don't know, doing different stuffs like social media. So for me, the important thing to do is to turn it off and get focus on the thing that I'm learning and studying. The thing is that with the phone, some kids and students are kind of vicious to it. So sometimes they don't get good grades, I think.
Okay. Right. So your main idea was good. You stated which option you preferred. Your first reason was good. Your first example, you sort of fused it with the reason. You said because I get distracted. For example, when I'm on my phone, I do social media. But your second reason was a bit unclear. So yeah, just try to work on your notes. Just write down what your first reason is, what your second reason is. That's going to help you to think a bit less while you answer the question. Okay. Okay, cool. David.
Hello, teacher, and good afternoon. Sorry that I was late. I couldn't get in at time, but yeah, I'm kind of ready.
So good. Are you ready to give
Yeah,
it a try?
sure. Yeah, sure. That's right.
Do you have somewhere to write your notes on?
I will be writing on my phone if you don't mind. I don't. I right now. I am with my phone, so I don't know if you can see me. I'm just in my notes.
Okay,
Do
I
you
can see
see
you.
me? All right.
All right, so all good. So I'm going to read your question now. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Why or why not? Use details and examples to support your answer. Male and female students should have separate living halls. You have 15 seconds to prepare your answer, starting now. Okay, time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to elaborate your answer, starting now.
All right. I would agree totally with the statement that says that male and female students should have separate living halls, just because it's a main right. You know, it's kind of goes to a privacy thing. They should be like grow up with their own privacy, and that should avoid problems in the future because they will maybe some kind of students are kind of weird or they don't get comfortable with them. And as an example, like with my sister, I lived with her like for 4 years in the same room, and we shared him. So it kind of I noticed that she wanted her privacy, so I would totally agree with that.
Okay, good. You went with your main reason, but you took a bit too much time saying I agree with the statement that says. So just go with I agree that male and female students should have separate living halls. That's going to save you time. Your first reason was good. It was a really good reason. It was privacy. So, but it took you a bit too long to elaborate. So just try to keep it short and simple. Okay. And then go straight for the example. Just go the reason, example, then second reason, second example. Okay. But yeah, no, it was a really good first try. Right. So I think we have time for one more practice. Who wants to go now? All right, I think, except for Karen and Jose, who already did two, just need one more. Rodrigo, Sharon, Camila, or Gloria. Who wants to go? Or just me? Hi, Jasmine. Sweet. So, okay, I'm going to read your question and then you answer. Will you choose to study for a few hours and having a full night's sleep, or studying for the entire comprising of your sleep? You have 15 seconds to prepare your answer, starting now. Time's up. Now you have 45 seconds to answer the question, starting now. Jasmine, you're muted, by the way.
Okay, teacher.
We'll restart, okay? So you have 45 seconds, starting now.
Okay, teacher. I prefer to study for a few hours and having a full night sleep because I consider that sleeping is important. Uh, when you have an exam the next day, because if you don't sleep well, you you feel tired in the test, and you don't you don't get a good score. And yeah, that's it. And also that's
Okay, so time's up. Yeah, it was good. You started really strongly. You went your first reason, and it was really good. I think you struggle a bit with the example because you sort of didn't separate it. So yeah, that's why it's good to just give a personal example. So for example, there was this one time that I didn't sleep well for the exam, and I end up sleepy and forgetting everything I studied the night before. And then go for your second reason. Okay, so but yeah, it was a much better attempt. Cool. So okay, so I'm going to be running the poll now. Have 2 polls to do today. So while I launch the first poll, right? First impressions. Who wants to tell me what do you think of this of this first try? What are the things you're struggling with the most?
The time.
Yeah, the time for the notes or the time for the answer?
For the notes,
Yeah.
Time for the notes, exactly.
because I sometimes don't have time to write the second, so I get nervous when I'm saying the second reason or the example.
Yep, it is quite tricky. It's really tricky, but with enough practice, you can actually get it done. So what I would suggest all of you do is just, yeah, try to practice your note taking in terms of can I say just try not to use full words, just use like I don't know how to say it, like without using the vowels, or just use the first half of the word, or just scribble something. It doesn't have to make sense to anyone except for you. So yeah, sometimes that's useful. And another thing that I always tell people to do is to listen to podcasts. Actually, podcasts are really useful. There's this podcast that I really like. It's called the Global News Podcast by the BBC. So it's basically news. They just tell you the news every day. They have two editions a day. So yeah. So what that does is basically just gives you enough vocabulary. So what I do is I listen to it in the morning while I'm getting ready, and sometimes when there's like a funky word, I repeat it, or I get used to the the language on a more technical term. For example, sometimes it's hard to just think of certain words to use in these scenarios because you're talking on like not so casually, right? So yeah, so just work on your note taking. Just whenever you have free time, just put on 45 seconds on your watch, put on 45 seconds on your cell phone, and yeah, just practice. Just do whatever you find. For example, I don't know, if you're having breakfast, just say, do you prefer sweet or salty things for breakfast? And yeah, just go with it. And yeah, that is going to train your brain into thinking of, okay, one reason, one example, one reason, one example. That way it's going to come more natural to you. And yeah, it's going to be easier basically. So do we have any questions or comments before we finish today's session?
Teacher, could you pass that presentation, that examples to practice, please?
Okay, I'm going to send it to the chat here. Do I have a copy on my computer? Right, I'm going to send it to the group chats because I think this one is in the cloud. So you can have some questions. If you Google as well, first task questions, they're going to appear quite a lot of examples as well. I got some of them from here, some of them from a simulator. So yeah, basically I gathered some of them. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be sending you this now. Any other questions or comments, perhaps? Okay, good. So now you have a better idea on basically how this whole speaking thing goes. It's just a matter of practice. You see, if you have a structure, it's easier to just get your ideas across. So you don't have to think about what you want to say next. But yeah. So if no one has comments or anything to say, I think we're going to close our session for today. So thank you very much for attending and see you tomorrow.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
You, I
Teacher, thank you.
Thank you, teacher. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, teacher.